Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Thanks for coming by Nobody's Show tonight. Things have been bananas lately. It's been lots and lots of stuff going on. One thing we haven't done much for you guys lately is bring you out to the yard. So we popped out here real quick tonight. Like I said, things have been crazy. If you've been following the Nobody Else's page, you know we've been moving a lot of cars in from my dad's place. He had 200 or 300 old Buicks and Pontiacs stored, and he sold one of his lots. So we've been trying to get a bunch of those cars moved, and I've had a bunch of other stuff come in here lately too. I think since last Thursday, I've had 15 vehicles come in since last Thursday afternoon, and it's Monday evening, so it's been crazy. So we thought we'd come out to the yard. I've been stuffing cars in every corner, nook, and cranny I can find based on the fact I've had so many of them coming in. I've got about half of these cars that come in from my dad's place this week and stashed in one place. So thought we'd bring you out into the yard. We'll walk around and look at a few of these Buicks and Pontiacs that have come in over this weekend. So we'll flip the camera on here and we'll do some quick walk arounds on a few of these. First one over here on the side. Now you got to remember, these cars have had a lot of parts sold off of them over the years from my dad's place. But on the other hand, a lot of these cars are stuffed full of parts from either that came off of those cars or came off of like type cars and got put inside the cars and put into storage. So the first one we've got here is a 61 Buick LeSabre station wagon. These old wagons, you just don't see them very often anymore. Had this wagon, I had another early 60s wagon come in also this weekend that we're going to get to in a future episode. But this old 61's seen better days, but like I said, these are all stuffed full of parts. So even though the cars look kind of rough around the edges and they don't look complete, there's tons of stuff in them. It's just cool to see old wagons. Wagons are great. They don't pop up all the time anymore, so it's always cool when an old wagon comes in. So we'll come around the wagon. Up here there's a 70 Electra that this one we brought in from Dad's a couple of weeks ago. 70 Electra 4-door hardtop. Once again, still has a lot of pieces on it, and it's also stuffed full of parts like a lot of these cars are. So coming on around, we got another 70 Buick. This one's a 70 LeSabre 4-door. Once again, missing the bumpers and some lights and grills off of the old LeSabre. But just like a lot of these, they're stuffed full of other parts. So next to the LeSabre, 66 Bonneville, big old Pontiac. These 66s are pretty sharp cars. This car's missing the deck lid, but that's about it. Plus, you know, lots of parts inside the car, inside the trunk. Still a lot of good stuff on that one. In front of the Bonneville is another one we brought in this weekend, a 67 Riviera. Here again, this car's missing a lot of pieces, but it's stuffed full. The trunk's full, inside the car's full. So this still has some good pieces on it. It's a pretty solid car, still has some good doors and things like that on it. But lots of parts and pieces on it, in it, and around it. So next to the Riviera, we've got a 67 Wildcat. Other than the grills and a few pieces of trim, the 67 Wildcat's still pretty complete. I believe it's still got its 430 in it. 4-door hardtop, pretty good lines on this car. And just like all these, the inside's just full of extra pieces. So just because you don't see it on the car doesn't mean it might not still be there. Once again, a pretty complete old solid car, not a bad old car with a lot of good pieces left on it. Last one we've got to talk about tonight, and please excuse the wind, I hope you're not getting it too bad. This car is definitely not complete, and it's rough, and there's not a lot left of this car, but it's a very rare car. It's a 62 Buick Wildcat, the very first year they made them. They were made on the Invicta body, and I believe they only made 2,000 of these. So this was not a very common car. It's one that's been out of Dad's for decades. But just something you don't see very often. Unfortunately, not a ton left of this car. But it's cool when you see something that just, you know, it's that rare. They just only made a handful of these. And I think right around 2,000 was the actual amount made on 62 Wildcats. So not something you see every day. But anyway, wanted to bring you some new stuff. We'll try to get some more videos on some of this new inventory that's been coming in, because like I said, it's been bananas this last week since Thursday. We had like 15 of them come in the last 3 or 4 or 5 days. So lots of cool stuff. There's a 60 Electra that we brought in a couple weeks ago from Dad's. 69 Bonneville, 428 car. Motor's out of it, but we've got it stashed in the shed. So lots and lots of stuff going on with the F&E Collector Auto Auction coming up here in just under 3 weeks. Was out listing cars for that today. New cars popping up on that website just about every day, feclassiccarauction.com. Be sure to check that out. If you can't get here for the auction, be sure to check us out on ProxyBid. You can bid live online on ProxyBid. So check out the new inventory going up on there. We'll bring you some more videos from the yard. There's some new exciting stuff coming. We've just about got the huge deal wrapped up that we've been talking about for the last several months. We're hoping to have some breaking news on that deal, hopefully within a few weeks. But it's a big deal, more cars than I've ever bought at one time in my life. So super excited about that. And we've got lots and lots of stuff to talk about out here yet, guys. So hang in there with us. We appreciate you being here. Appreciate you hanging out with us. As always, if there's stuff you want to see, don't be afraid to let us know. Post it in the comments, the stuff you want us to check out or want to see covered, or want to see videos on. If you've got any questions about parts, you've got to call me. That's the only way to know you're going to get a hold of me, is to call me. The numbers are on this page or the nobody else's page. There are way too many questions out there than most people typically give me when they just send me an email or a text. So that's why I can't even respond to most of the emails and texts. So that's why I just typically don't. Call me. If you got any questions, be more than happy to talk to you about stuff. So anything you guys need, don't be afraid to give me a shout. See if we can help you out and get some stuff on the way to you. So thanks for being here. I always appreciate you guys stopping by and checking things out with us. And be sure to check out feclassiccarauction.com. Check out the new stuff going on there. And we will see you guys Wednesday night. Thanks for being here.